Hello everyone, welcome to Satyanesh. Now we are here with a new topic, quadratic equations. Before starting this topic, let's learn the terminology. A quadratic equation is represented as y is equals to ax square plus bx plus c. In this chapter, we frequently use d, which is nothing but discriminant. That is b square minus 4ac. And the term we use roots. Roots are nothing but the zeros of the equation. For solving zeros or roots, we have to equate the quadratic equation with 0 and factorize it, and we can solve the roots. Okay? For this, the roots are minus b plus or minus under root b square minus 4ac by 2a. Okay guys, these are the main terminology we use in the quadratic equations. And now, we will discuss location of roots. There are 7 conditions to find location of roots. They are: let us take the curve as y is equals to ax square, and the graph is in the form of this. This is roots a and b. These are the roots a and b. Roots is a term which can be defined as the point where the x-axis is touched by the curve. So these are the roots a and b. Now the first condition. If k lies between a and b, where k is a constant, if k lies between a and b, which means, for suppose this is the k, so for this the conditions are discriminant is greater than 0, and the next is a into f of k is less than 0. And this is the highest or minimum or maximum point of the curve, where it can be written as minus b by 2a. The coordinates of this point are minus b by 2a or d by 4a. Minus d by 4a. Okay. D is discriminant. As I said in the first terminology, D is a discriminant. These are the 2 conditions we have to check for a value k lies between a and b roots. And the second one is, if k is less than a or less than roots, the graph would be like this. These are a and b, and k lies here. If k is less than roots, then the condition is, we have to check 3 conditions. Discriminant is greater than or equal to 0. A into f of k is greater than or equal to 0, and see here. As here, this is minus b by 2a. The lowest point is minus b by 2a. So k is less than minus b by 2a. We get k is less than minus b by 2a. These are the 3 conditions we have to check for the constant k lies less than roots. Okay. The third condition is, if k is greater than the roots, the graph will be like this: a, b, and for suppose k lies here. Now, the 3 conditions we have to check are: discriminant is greater than or equal to 0, a into f of k is greater than 0. The last is, as the minimum value or maximum value is minus b by 2a, comma d by 4a, right? We have to check it is greater than, k is greater than minus b by 2a or not. So, k is greater than minus b by 2a. These are the 3 conditions we have to check. If they ask, any constant k is greater than the roots. Fourth one, if roots lies between k1 and k2. K1 and k2 are some constants. See, this is the curve. A, B are roots, k1 and k2. For this, you have to take the three conditions are discriminant is greater than or equal to 0, a into f of k1 or a into f of k2 is greater than 0. The last one is, as here the minimum value is between k1 and k2, so we can get the condition k1 is less than minus b by 2a is less than k2. These are the three conditions we have to check for seeing that roots lies between k1 and k2. Okay, and the fifth one is exactly one root lies between the constant. Between k1 and k2. So let's take, this is the curve. This is k1, a, b, this is k2. So here only a is lying between k1 and k2. So for these conditions we have to take discriminant greater than or equals to 0 and f of k1 into f of k2 is less than 0. These are the conditions we should check for exactly one root lies between k1 and k2. Now the sixth one is both roots are positive. For being both roots are positive, the curve should be after the y-axis, or it should lie in the positive x-axis, so that the roots are in the first quadrant or fourth quadrant. The condition we should check is a plus b is greater than 0 or a into b is greater than 0. And the last one is, seventh one is, for both roots are negative. For both roots are negative, the curve should lie in the negative x-axis region. For that, a and b are the roots. The condition we should check is a plus b is less than 0 and a into b is greater than 0. As these both roots are negative, so we get a as negative and b as negative. A into b will be greater than 0. So these are the conditions for locating a root. And now let's discuss minimum and maximum values. Minimum and maximum values. First one, if a is greater than 0, then the maximum at x is equals to minus b by 2a, and the maximum at y is equals to 4ac minus b square by 4a. See, we have discussed this before, that if this is the curve, this is the minimum or maximum. If a is greater than 0, then we get the curve like this, or else if a is less than 0, we get the curve like this. So this is maximum, this is minimum. So if a is greater than 0, sorry, this is minimum. A is greater than 0, the curve is this, and this is the minimum value. Similarly, if a is less than 0, then the maximum value of x is equals to b by 2a, and maximum value of y is equals to b square minus 4ac by 4a. See here, as it is in the positive y-axis and positive x-axis, So b by 2a is positive and b square minus 4ac by 4a is also positive. And next is for f of x is equals to ax square plus bx plus c by x square minus bx plus c. If this is the condition, there is a simple and direct method. The maximum and minimum value of x is plus or minus under root c by a. See, this is a direct formula you can remember. For solving it, it takes a lot of time. If you remember this formula, you can directly keep the answer or the option which he gave in the exam. Many times they have asked these types of questions in competitive exams, so be careful. And now let's discuss about common roots. In exam, they give two equations and asked to find common roots of the following equations. For this, there is a direct formula. C1a2 minus C2a1 whole square is equals to a1b2 minus a2b1 whole square to C1b2 minus, sorry, there is no whole square, C1b2 minus C2b1. This is the formula. Easy to remember, right? C1a2 minus C2a1 whole square is equals to a1b2 minus a2b1 into C1b2 minus C2b1. I have given all the formulas in the description. You can check there. And now let's discuss theory of equations. First of all, S1 is equals to alpha 1 plus alpha 2 plus alpha 3 plus so on alpha k. So here alpha is the roots of any quadratic equation. Alpha 1 plus alpha 2 plus alpha 3 plus so on alpha k is equals to sigma of alpha 1 is equals to minus 1 whole power 1 coefficient of x power n minus 1 by coefficient of x power n. And the next is S2 is equals to alpha 1 alpha 2 plus alpha 2 alpha 3 plus so on alpha n minus 1 into alpha n is equals to sigma alpha 1 into alpha 2 is equals to minus 1 whole square into coefficient of x power n minus 2 by coefficient of x power n. And similarly like this, so on, S of k is equals to, that means S1 into so on, sorry, alpha 1 into alpha k plus alpha n minus k to alpha n is equals to minus 1 whole power k coefficient of x power n minus k by coefficient of x power n. So this is the general formula. Sk is equals to minus 1 whole power k into coefficient of x power n minus k by coefficient of x power n. You can put any value. If we take k is equals to 3, then S3 is equals to coefficient of x power n minus 3 by coefficient of x power n, and here minus 1 cube is minus. So we get, the meaning of this is S3 is alpha 1 into alpha 2 into alpha 3. We are multiplying 3 roots. I will give a small example. Here x square plus 5x 2x square plus 3, 5 plus 3 is equal to 0. Okay, right? This is a quadratic equation. For this we can write the roots are alpha plus beta is equal to 0. So this is S1 plus S2, and if we take alpha 1 and alpha 2 as roots, we can write alpha 1 plus alpha 2 is equals to what, minus, see, alpha 1 plus alpha 2. Alpha 1 plus alpha 2 is equals to minus 1 whole power into coefficient of x power n minus 1. As here n is 2, 2 minus 1 is 1, coefficient of x is 5. So minus 5 by coefficient of x power n. We know that n is 2, so x power 2. Coefficient of x power 2 is 2. Alpha 1 plus alpha 2 is equals to minus 5 by 2. And similarly, if we take S2, alpha 1 into alpha 2, minus 1 whole square. Minus 1 whole square is 1, and coefficient of x power n minus 2. Here n is 2. See, here n is 2. 2 minus 2 is 0. 0 means coefficient of x power 0 is, which is nothing but constant. 1 into 3 by coefficient of x power n. X square coefficient is 2. In this way, we have derived this sum of roots and product of roots. I have given this theory of equations also in description. That's it for today. Please like, share, subscribe Satyanu's channel. If there are any comments or suggestions, please drop them in the comment box. Thank you.